It's more about motivation than doing it perfectly. Winning is what matters, so just focus on that. There's also a possibility that I'll become a challenger all at once, isn't there? Even from Suzuki's view, beating a legend like Asakura Eagle is a major accomplishment. Let me just say, if you beat Asakura Eagle, there are benefits for both of you, aren't there?
It's probably up to the fighters, isn't it?
That's what I think. The drive player is physically strong but still young, so not yet. He still needs to improve in some areas.
That's what I think.
I really think I'll be assigned to the bench.
From Black Pellets Japan, Taida and Soedani will be playing. Well, that's how it is. But Taida is developing quickly at an early pace, so it's good. But honestly, it's a bit scary. I want to win without any mistakes too.
That's right. Last month at ACP, I sparred with Dotson. Ah, yes, I came to train with Dotson.
Well, to be honest, that's actually the case. Today we have a very special guest in the studio, representing Kanaya. Thank you very much for joining us. Welcome and thank you again. It seems you've become quite the regular here. Thank you very much. Let's get started with our conversation. Thank you again, Kanaya-san.
Okay, Nin.
There aren't any comments from the viewers. Honestly, it's more like they're avoiding me or something. Normally, that doesn't really happen.
I'm already 54, so I can't really say anything too intense or passionate. I try to choose my words carefully so I don't come across too strong. That's how it is, though.
I think we should be honest. That's something I really want. So in this video, I'd like to ask about your predictions for the future of men. I think this person is also expressing the opinion of the Night Owl group, so I'm going to jump in quickly. I hope that's okay. I'd like to ask what kind of thoughts Hiroshi Suzuki and Miku Asakura had when their matches were decided.
Didn't it feel like Asahira Hiramoto couldn't do anything and was struggling against his opponent? In that situation, Suzuki had also just finished his match, so what do you think about that?
It's been a month since the Tsukigetsu Tautobek fight, and the Asakura Mirai match is in a month. The turnaround is short, around a week.
That's not something you'd normally do, right? It's pretty tough. Suzuki is a former champion and top-level fighter. Definitely above Asakura Mirai. But if I had to fight Asakura Mirai, honestly, I'd be a little hesitant. Am I a weirdo or just a regular one? I'm really not sure myself.
Asakura.
To be a fighter, you should have a strong desire for it. There are many well-known names in the field with few unknowns. At one point, he was considered the strongest in Japan. So I think there are a lot of people who want to beat that fighter. Even if it's unreasonable, there are people who still want to try. As for Suzuki, I'm not sure if he went to the offer because he really wanted to fight Suzuki. Or if it just happened that way. I don't know the details, but even if Suzuki isn't at his best anymore, I think there are still people who want to challenge him, even if it's unreasonable. Isn't that right?
Well, I guess you could say I'm in a strange situation right now. I wonder just how strange I really am. I didn't really know if Suzuki Chihiro was with his own team or not. Following the fight with Doubtbeck, rumors circulated that he was in significant pain and may have suffered a broken nose or fracture, but the truth remains uncertain. He said openly that his hand hurt and his foot hurt, but after the match was decided, he immediately acted like he was totally fine. So honestly, I don't know if I can believe him.
That's right, so it's really hard to tell, even for the team.
I think so too, and there's a possibility that it's not suspicious at all, you know?
Well, I don't really know either, but I guess it depends on how things turn out. Sometimes injuries that seem serious after a match heal quickly, while others that seem minor turn out to be broken bones upon X-ray examination. Well, that's how it is. Taking all of that into account, I think it's amazing that the team managed to come out with a 5-3 result. If you ask me, that's really something. Honestly, this isn't even an exaggeration. I'm really not just saying this. I'm being completely serious.
That's right. If the opponent changes here, it would be a real problem for Asakura Mikuru. The event itself would also be in trouble. Oh, is there any kind of communication or something like that? If it were boxing, there would be a commission to properly check the fighter's condition and so on, but with A, is there anything like that?
When it comes to A or that kind of event, there isn't really a commission itself, is there? As for the referee with C,
it's different.
I think there are organizations, but I don't think there's an actual commission itself.
There's nothing I particularly want to see.
There's no commission, such as for a suit.
That's all there is to it.
But I don't think most other groups have that.
In most cases, the doctor likely checks and approves before proceeding. What I'm most concerned about is probably Machiron. I'm worried about more than just his feet, hands, or nose. I'm also concerned about potential brain damage. In the Doubtback match, he got punched and seemed dazed, among other things. Only he truly knows his condition, but I don't believe he's anywhere near 100%. If the brain damage gets worse, that's the end. That's what really worries me.
You're right. Only the coach and those close to him would know for certain. That's what I think too, but I also feel like he really wants to keep going no matter what, so I wonder if they've actually talked about that together. I'm not really sure, but I hope he's taking it seriously. And so, I'm unsure if he said that because something was off or if he just felt like it. I don't really know, but maybe there was something going on. I really think it's going to be an exciting and enjoyable match.
As a player, I simply want to do things my way. If you don't have the spirit of a challenger, you can't really become a player. So as a coach or representative, I'm protecting those players myself.
Or not.
I push through. I guess it's about doing what you think is right, isn't it?
I think it really depends on the player and the number of matches, but honestly, I don't really talk much with the other players when it comes to making choices. If I personally feel that something is impossible for me, even if a player says they want to do it, I don't think I should just say yes and go along with it. I believe it's the coach's job to put a stop to that if necessary. The coach is also responsible for that decision. Coaches need knowledge and courage to guide players, not just cater to their wants. While letting them experiment is important, knowing when to intervene is a crucial part of the job.
I don't think that's right. As a coach, you really can't say it's okay to do something that's clearly not allowed.
I think there are times like that. I've experienced it myself several times.
After that,
Players who keep losing in a row or players who lose a lot. For those who are getting older or want to continue but their bodies can't keep up, it might be better to quit, but that's just my opinion. I've been raising these players all this time, so I feel like it's my responsibility to say those things to them in the end.
it's kind of hard to put into words. I'm really enjoying these matches and the fans are having a good time too, so I don't want to say anything that would bring down the mood. But at the same time, I think it's important to be honest with the people around me, even if it's tough. I hope everyone can understand that, and I want them to know that I'm thinking about it seriously. If I just left without saying anything, that wouldn't be right either.
That's true, even in boxing. Honestly, I think it's something that should be taken very seriously, especially for fighters who are becoming real top-level contenders. I really believe that.
Yeah, that's right. Well, for sparring, talk to people like Asakura B, Kuryu, and Suzuki Chisato. People who are strong. The more I ask for predictions and opinions, the less certain I become about what will happen. It's perplexing. I don't even know my own condition. I don't know about Mikuru Asakura's mental state, or what kind of motivation Tleo has, or if he even has any motivation at all. So I really have no idea what's going to happen. If the opponent changes from Ren Hiramoto to Chisato Suzuki, how does that affect your motivation? Can you still be the champion? That's definitely something to consider. But at the same time, it's not the opponent I originally wanted, so there's that too. What do you think about that?
I'm not really sure, but if Mikuru Asakura becomes the opponent, or if Ren Hiramoto wins and comes back, then maybe I'll get motivated again. I have a strong desire to do it, but I'm still uncertain. Miku Asakura's goal is also to become a champion in the future. I think so. And to achieve that, being called a full champion is a big motivation. Isn't that amazing? That's what I think. So I changed from Hiramoto to Suzuki, and it's been that way until now. If you win this, isn't it amazing? If you win, will you be ranked next? There's also a possibility you could become a contender. Isn't that right? Regardless of who wins, even Suzuki Senshu said beating legends Asakura Mikuru Senshu would be amazing. This is huge. If you beat Asakura Mikuru, it's a big deal. So for both of them...
So isn't there a merit to it? Like Asakura Mikuru is also able to take on the match in a pretty good condition, so...
Because they're both fighters, I think they're both really trying to be in their best possible condition. I don't think this is going to be a match where they're just going through the motions or anything like that, especially since it's at the Tokyo Dome. I think they'll both be in the best condition they can be right now and step into the ring at their peak.
But that's just how it is, you know? Yeah, it's often said that as you become more famous, the time you have to train gets eaten up by things like morning interviews and appearances, and people from the outside think your training volume changes. But honestly, I don't think that's really the case at all. How do you see it? Personally, I don't really feel that way.
To be honest, I don't really know either.
Asakura Mimi.
It's the same with my hands too. I guess I'll try to become famous. Maybe it's that wild spirit, that hunger that makes you want to hang on. When you have that, you're just stronger. I don't even know what it is myself, but whether it's money, status, or fame, when you get it in your hands, you start to wonder what you're fighting for. And honestly, like everyone says, compared to the old days, I think people back then were stronger, you know?
Maybe that's what it is. Or maybe it's just difficult, you know?
The chances may be low, but it's not impossible. Some athletes have made a comeback. When I ask around, people say, many people expect Suzuki to win the match, based on what I hear from those around me. However, I'm unsure if it's the main event or a semi-main at the Tokyo Dome event, but that's the current situation. If Asakura Mikuru wins, it'll be explosive, right? That's how it is. It'll be a huge deal.
Yeah, that's right.
This will undoubtedly elevate the entire martial arts world to a new level. I think the RIZIN side is probably hoping for that too, but honestly, I don't think the chances are that high. I wonder if Suzuki Senshu would win at this point in time.
That's what I think.
But you never know what will happen in a match, so I think that's what's missing here. The reason I made this matchup boom is because I think Asakura Mikuru Senshu also has a lot of potential. I wonder if he'll just accept defeat here and retire, but I don't really know. Still, if you look at the whole picture, I think the one who wins here is the stronger fighter. If asked who will win, I believe the one with superior technique will prevail. I think Suzuki Senshu will come out on top.
That's pretty much it. He's winning with his striking. Is it a pattern or...
Yes, that's right, with his striking. They both claim to have been practicing grappling, but neither seems able to finish it. That's my impression. Of course, one must be careful and defend against Kureberu's grappling.
Nezu.
Both Kimoto and Asakura as well. I've heard that they're both training a lot in grappling these days, so if it turns into a striking match, I think Suzuki might win, but I'm not really sure. If no trouble happens.
That's right, it'll be a striking match. I believe Suzuki Chisato has the edge, but Mikuru Asakura could win if the fight goes to the ground. Is it difficult to keep it up?
It will likely be a stand-up fight. Even if it goes to the ground briefly, Suzuki will probably get back up.
Physical Sugo.
You know, even a few years ago, maybe about 4 years ago, when he came to train with us for a bit, he was already like that. His technique wasn't quite there yet, but his physical strength was really impressive. I felt like, wow, it's probably pretty tough to hold down a guy like that. Why is he so physically strong? Is it natural or the result of training? With Suzuki Senshu, it seemed like he was born with his strength, as if it was innate to him.
Well, I'm not really sure. The coach is coach. Yeah, that's right, though.
I've often heard that the players are really strong physically, but I don't really know if that's actually true, though I do know that they're said to be really strong physically. Their punching power is amazing too. Their punches are really strong. I saw a video of someone hitting a sandbag with incredible force. The impact was amazing. Even more amazing than Japanese people.
Their physical strength is likely the reason, as legends are connected to that. Edo Borokingu and such aren't really that amazing as athletes, are they? They're actually smaller than Edo Borokingu, but Japanese people move in a way that's more like the wind. There aren't really many Japanese heavyweight athletes, right? Honestly, there really aren't. That's what I think. If I had to say, it's probably mostly Chisato Suzuki. That's what I think. It's a little sad for Mikuru Asakura's fans, though. It won't turn into a match, will it?
Since it's a match, anything can happen. If Mikuru Asakura wins, the venue will erupt in excitement. As the martial arts world grows more thrilling, Mikuru Asakura will likely become the next big name if RIZIN gains popularity. It would be fantastic if the excitement continues to build, whether it's the title match or anything else.
Well, when I think about it, I've said this before, but I really want Mikuru Asakura to win. It's for the sake of the martial arts world. My own feelings aren't really tied to the outcome, but I do hope there's a next time, so I want Mikuru Asakura to do his best. Still, it's hard to imagine what would happen. If Mikuru Asakura knocks out Chiyo Suzuki, the venue will erupt in excitement. For example, I want to hear your thoughts on this, but if Clever Koiki wins here, then Mikuru Asakura versus Clever in RIZIN would be a title match, so I don't think they'd do it just as a regular match. If Nishiu wins, it seems like the flow is heading toward a match with Ren Hiramoto again.
That's likely how it'll unfold. Fresh matchups and drama will emerge, spawning various stories. But for now, let's focus on winning here.
That's right. I want you to do your best there. I really like Chisato Suzuki too. When I think about her entrance, I get into the mood of various fighters' entrances. Suzuki.
Chihiro is also someone who comes to our place often.
He's a straightforward and great athlete.
He's truly a dedicated and great athlete.
Yeah, that's right. I don't really want to say outright that I want to win no matter what, but from this morning, I've been thinking about the pattern where the player I expect to win actually does, and I find that pretty interesting.
From a viewer's perspective, I think it's interesting to watch with that in mind.
Yeah, Hiramoto Ren seems to be getting into the commentary quite a bit. Is that so? That's the main thing, I think.
Yeah, commentary.
Just by joining the commentary, Hiramoto Ren's presence is really standing out, but I wonder if it's in an unexpected way, or if it's just that his influence is so strong, or maybe it's not about thinking in terms of influence, but rather in a different direction. Either way, Hiramoto Ren's influence is really remarkable, even in the opposite direction.
But even so, that's interesting, isn't it? It's really just interesting. RIZIN really knows how to stir things up. If you just do a standard commentary show, then it would just be a normal Hiramoto Ren commentary. And honestly, that wouldn't be as interesting. So I think it's better to really think it through and make it more entertaining.
If the winner is Suzuki-sen and he wins, then it would definitely be Suzuki-sen versus Hiramoto. But, you know...
That's true. It's interesting for sure. Definitely interesting.
That's right. I'm really enjoying this match, but I'd like to hear your thoughts. Before discussing that, let's stay on topic. Do you think he'll be consumed by the protein or consume it himself? Lately, I've been hooked on this protein. It tastes pretty bad, but I actually like it. It tastes like delicious blueberry yogurt. If you get the chance, I'd love for you to try it. That's all I wanted to say. I'm honestly not a big fan of the taste of this protein. For example, there's chocolate flavored protein, right? But even when I first tried it, it tasted like chocolate. But then there was this weird aftertaste that I just couldn't get used to. And that's why I'm not really good with it.
I kind of get what you mean, but honestly, I end up drinking all sorts of weird flavors too. I usually drink chocolate or orange juice flavors. Chocolate and orange juice, you know, surprisingly, they actually go well together.
Really? I never would have thought of that.
You have a unique way of drinking things.
I'm not good with the aftertaste of whey, so I've always avoided it. I used to think protein and stuff like that would affect my body structure, so I always avoided protein. But after I started drinking this, I actually started to enjoy it because it tastes good.
Honestly, it's delicious now, but back in the beginning, I used to drink things that had no flavor at all, like plain wheat flour. So really, for me, this is something from more than 20 or even 30 years ago. Yeah, that's right.
It tastes like dumplings. Yes, I eat it. If you want it, that's fine. Protein is good no matter how you take it. I'll go all out too.
Comment, yeah, honestly, protein really does have a unique taste. The taste.
Isn't there?
It's Miyasuine. Certainly, with protein, sometimes the aftertaste can be bad, but this one is kind of like juice, so you can drink it easily. Thank you very much. Do you like it? It's delicious.
Yes, I want to take it as a present. I want to drink it.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Yes.
Please share your recommendations for delicious dishes based on your experience. Thank you. This is Sheiro Rafuto Koraburo Koizumi's title match, so how do you see it?
What do you think? Are you saying something, Mr. Minna? Shay...
Isn't it a draw? I wonder what will happen.
I've always liked Jutsu, so I really like Jutsu. But lately, Jutsu hasn't been winning in A, so maybe it's not that strong, or maybe it's just C.
But still.
In the actual rankings, individuals such as Satoshi and Gu, those fighters are really at the top, so honestly, I really respect them. Those two, Yanam, I honestly think they're just on another level. A lot of people are saying Shader Raifu's going to win, right? But I think Cribble has a good triangle too.
Cool.
I think he'll win by back choke, that's what I believe. Will he finish the match from the bottom position? It's possible. For example, Musaev was also really strong, wasn't he?
Yeah.
You decided on Satoshi, right? It felt more like a clever grappling move than a triangle from below. I thought he wouldn't release it. The finish was definitely a slick submission. Despite his youth, his strength and power are evident as he relentlessly pounds away at any opponent, securing victories. I believe he's a formidable fighter, and I'm eager to see what Kleber can achieve. I predict a victory by submission.
If you think about it, a submission by Satoshi is definitely possible. That's also an option, so I think it's possible. That's right.
That Shadera?
Even if it's a strong if, it's not a big deal.
Even if you're a top-level player or a great hitter, if your structure isn't good, your elbows and everything else won't be good either, you know? I don't know about the prediction for the Shade Drive fight, but I think Kleber will win.
I'm not really sure, but I think he was hitting from below. Kleber can also stand and fight, and I think he definitely has a chance against Asakura. If he gets a cut, it could really change the whole fight.
As long as you can respond to some degree, there's no need to fear it.
I think you can definitely have it.
That's what I think too, Shay. The life of an athlete is really physical. It's amazing, but they're still young, so...
Not yet.
That's right, Shay. Did you mean to say rubber? You're even better than that. Way better. I thought you weren't just someone who was chosen to be here. The key points and connections of that technique are all right there. To make it work, you must fully lock in the triangle even if you apply strong physical pressure. Getting the triangle right is crucial. Sometimes you need to lift and hold.
Don't lift.
That's what you should do. I think they're holding the technique as well. In the case of a Kerbal athlete,
I think that's a decisive win for Kurubel, but it seems like Kurubel is still going for it. However, if it turns into a C, it will go down.
Ah, right.
That's not something you usually see, is it?
That's more than enough, though.
I guess that is.
Make that part softer. I'm looking forward to seeing those two judokas win today. I want them to finish it with their jiu-jitsu skills.
That's what I hope for. Is it really jiu-jitsu? It's intriguing to see how their techniques are evolving. There were fighters who used to pull guard and finish from the bottom even in C, but now being on the bottom is seen as a disadvantage. And it's interesting to see how it's changed compared to before.
Even in modern jiu-jitsu, ending up on the bottom is not advisable. Few fighters can finish from the bottom, so it's not about being cool. If a top-level fighter like Shadraev gets pounded from the top, it will be very challenging for them.
Here.
If Krebel finishes from the bottom, the whole arena will go wild, you know.
Oh, that's true. It really will.
I want to see that happen.
That's right. It really is. But, you know, it's hard to judge the level of Krebel, isn't it? If we decide the winner with just one match, do we go straight to the Shade Life? That's how it is, right? If it hadn't been decided, things might have turned out differently. I heard the same thing about Keiba-kun's match. Well, yes, but Takagi Senshu is strong too. How do you see that?
That's right, I agree. But I don't think it'll turn into a striking match. It'll probably be a grappling match. As for striking...
Oh, that's what I think.
Honestly, I just can't imagine Takagi losing. I really think Takagi will take him down. Kyo
But
is going down.
More.
After that, I think Keiba will counterattack and bring it down, so I think Keiba will win, but I also think the opposite could happen.
Dao?
I think it will be in response to that. So it's a clear distinction, you know, a clear distinction. I think they're about the same in ability, so I was a bit interested in Kyoto and wondered if I should support them, but I don't really think so. I don't really know. No, that's right. I think it's really fun for the people watching.
With a tan.
I'm unsure if it will fall over or fit together. We'll have to wait and see what happens. It feels like an intense battle, like I can't predict the outcome, but it's definitely gonna be an interesting match.
It's fun, right? I want to root for Kyoba-kun a bit. I hope the younger fighters give it their all.
Yeah, like he's really a fighter who's been rising up from here, so I want to see how far he can go. That's why I think it's gonna be interesting for sure.
Do you think it's at the level of a real top-class fighter?
That's right, I think that's it. Kyoma is somewhere between bantamweight and featherweight, so it's hard to say exactly, but that's where he's fighting. I think he hasn't had any fights at featherweight yet, so this will be his first.
At featherweight.
He's in the monster group, isn't he? Suzuki Senshu, do you think there's going to be a big difference there? It takes a bit of time to move up to your own class and adjust to it, you know?
When it comes to frame size, he has the kind of physique and height that would let him compete even as a full-fledged featherweight.
That's right.
But he was dropping all the way down to bantamweight, so...
Nafu.
His body isn't built for featherweight class, that's what I'm saying.
Maybe Takagi's skills are just that good, or maybe it's because he's fighting at featherweight, but there might be a difference there, or maybe not.
In grappling, he's influenced by him, is that right?
Yes, in grappling there is. I think it's especially noticeable in takedowns and things like that. In striking, it's not as much as in grappling, but I think his influence still shows. At that level, it's really just one level difference, isn't it, eh?
That rank is just way too high, isn't it?
That's true. In the case of the Kyoto Derby, they move up from the fly, so it's a flyweight bout. When I told him, I think it was flyweight, so...
Bantam.
That's right, it was flyweight. He dropped down a lot, all the way to flyweight. Yeah, and he started when he was in high school.
That's probably why. His body wasn't fully developed yet.
Even though they're not quite there yet, those two are definitely going to get stronger in the future. So even if we win now, I think it'll be a really good match. And honestly, I'm looking forward to it.
The match seems interesting, but even if one side wins, it likely won't be decisive based on my impression from Black Belt Japan. It looks like Ota and Soya will be competing, but Ota's opponent is really interesting. Sabatili's ring is strong, and I think he'll probably appear once in the collaboration between RIZIN and Bellator.
But even among freestyle wrestlers, if we're talking about wrestling matches, Ota Shinobu is at the top. In my case, I've won world championships, you know. Well, there are differences between Greco and freestyle, but honestly, unless you're really famous, it's hard to tell the difference between the two just by looking at the names. Sometimes you can tell, sometimes you can't. But I don't think Sabatero is that close to being a top-level fighter right now. In his last 5 fights, I think he's lost about 3 times, so I'm not really sure. He's not as good as before. Recently, he's been getting caught in back chokes after takedowns more often. Ota Shinobu also got caught in a back choke last time, so that's something to watch out for.
That's right.
So I think there's a chance he could get his back taken from there, but I'm sure he's been practicing that a lot lately, and his striking has improved too. His patience has gotten better, and I don't think it's easy to just take down Taida Shin. Sabatero's wrestling ability is on a completely different level compared to anyone he's faced so far, so Sabatero is probably the toughest opponent he's ever had. His wrestling ability is lower than I expected. This is likely the first time I'm facing someone without much wrestling skill. I believe handling his takedowns will be challenging if he attempts to strike. I feel prepared for that too. I've been training to deal with both, so I'm confident in my abilities. I won't let there be any doubt. I'll win for sure.
So, I'm growing at a fast pace, but at the same time, it's a bit scary.
It's probably because of my skills too. Once you get into a certain physical condition, you can almost decide the outcome just by using your skills. And now, with strong wrestlers joining, it's like we're training for a real battle. I'm training, so there's no mistake about that. I'm going to win, so please look forward to it. I'm really excited.
Right, if you win, does the title match come next? Victory?
I think it depends on the other side. It's not up to the judges, it's about performance. If I secure a decisive win, I believe I could be the next challenger. I've earned it and have been telling him that, and he seems to agree. I'm highly motivated and training hard now, so please look forward to it.
That's my opinion. Naoki Inoue is the champion, correct? Recently, the main event fighters have been getting less camera time. The sparring between Naoki Inoue and Yuki Motoya was close, and the judge's decision could have gone to either fighter.
That's right. Judging has been pretty close lately. There are many subtle points in the film that viewers may interpret differently. However, I'm not entirely certain about the specifics myself. But from my perspective, I briefly questioned if Otani Senshu truly won. With Senshu's whinging?
What?
Did the player win? If not, then Uewa Senshu won. I think it was a really close match, honestly.
But I still watched it.
It was a really good match. Even with just the two of us, I don't think there's much difference between Taida Shinobu and me. I believe I still have a chance and can do it if given the opportunity.
Naoki Inoue and Shinobu Ota are interesting, aren't they?
Maybe. They just can't stop wrestling, can they? That's probably it. Takedown is really confident, isn't he? Yeah, that's right.
He's really strong and it's fun to watch. I wonder if any other fighters can say they want to fight Donson again. The field is different now, but Donson is still highly rated, so I want to win. That's how I feel.
Donson, now around 40 years old, might be slightly past his prime. Wasn't his strongest period when he was fighting in C. I don't think he had any bad matches back then. Around the championship, he was very strong. Now, I don't think he's training as much. At 40, it's not like he's going to become the champion of bare knuckle. Punch. I think his punches are decent, but as for aiming to become a champion from now, I don't think he's considering that. That's why last month at ACP, he met with Dotson, right? Dotson. He just came to train for a bit and then left right away, so it wasn't really anything special.
I thought so too.
When I talked to him, RIZIN champion told me, I want to challenge you next time. I want to have a championship match with you. So I thought, oh, that's what he wants. That was during the Soya match. I really didn't expect that at all, so I never thought I'd be fighting Soya again. That's why I don't have any particular motivation to face Soya. I'll take full responsibility from here on out. Beating Dotson will significantly boost Soya's ranking. Kubo is the only Japanese fighter who has defeated Dotson. I'm highly motivated as Dotson has already beaten me once, and he's well prepared. This fight has high stakes, with Soya ranked higher in the tournament. I'm eagerly anticipating this fight, not just waiting for Soya. Despite our sparring and training together, I won't mix that with this fight. I'll give my all and respond to the fans, putting on a good show. Regardless of what the RIZIN organizers expect from Soya, we'll have a great fight. I aim to stay calm and perform at my best, with the arena's atmosphere adding to the excitement and energy. A slugfest would be interesting, but there's also value in keeping the fight strategic.
There are times when I try to entertain the fans. That's just how it is. I think fans are always watching, so I feel like they're calling out to me. It's the exact opposite pattern with Mr. Oki Koyasu, isn't it? Mr. Oki Koyasu, who is so serious. What is he like during matches?
His mind is always on winning the tournament, so he remains calm. The tournament is planned for this or next month, and he's undecided about joining the current match. He's thoughtful and quiet, but when it comes to the tournament, he's determined to win. His resolve to win is always evident, regardless of the outcome. Even if he doesn't become the representative, it doesn't faze him. His own motivation has dropped a little, but even so, he's still aiming to be the champion in RIZIN. That's his motivation. He's training desperately to change things, but once the match is set, I think he'll be looking forward to it and waiting with excitement.
Flyweight class in this big event features Shinjiro Sasaki and Naoki Fujiwara, right? Their interesting results make it exciting if they get into the tournament, don't you think?
That's right. Those two will definitely get in, no matter what the results are. Fujiwara is currently on a 4-fight winning streak.
Yeah.
Even as a player who is competing in matches, they're both really fascinating players, so it's going to be interesting to see these two go at it this time. In Tokyo...
Oh, that's right.
I think it's going to be a really great match, and Fuji Senshu has a lot of momentum right now, doesn't he? I feel like Fuji Senshu has a certain charm, and I kind of want to support him, but in the end, I think the outcome will be decided by technique and new moves.
Is that something?
He finishes it off with a submission. Despite Fuji Senshu's dominant position, the outcome remains uncertain. Well, I wonder. It's hard to imagine a new face taking them down, and their defense is top-notch, so Fujisawa Senshu is probably carrying the burden of having to keep winning in a row, but last time...
He lost, didn't he?
There's that kind of momentum, but still, Makoto is really strong when it comes to endgame techniques and fighting it out in the endgame. Makoto just can't seem to win, can he?
Yeah, well, that's about it, isn't it? You die from a 5A... I thought it was funny how, after practice, Makoto and Kanamori were taking pictures together, smiling at each other. Since Mr. Wakabayashi came and they've been practicing together, those two have been really interesting. Maybe they're a bit mischievous, but they put their belongings next to each other and spread out. They place them right next to each other, but...
Everything.
Those two who don't talk to each other are interesting. Oh.
We practiced when we did the previous drive, both of us.
Really? When you were in the front, just a little bit.
Well, but honestly, before that, I was pretty nervous. Because I like pro wrestling, I watch all kinds of pro wrestling, you know? I really do.
I just think I really like those kinds of people.
Isn't it nice? It means to rise and prosper, like Reito and Makoto. But if you force it, it won't work out. That way the customers won't be happy, right? Rei, who is trying to be considerate, has a point.
It's white, right between them. It's a conversation between Hiramoto Rain and Kanaya Rain, but which one is it? The new center, Makoto, and Kanaya Rain as well. Just one word. It seems like they don't get along with each other.
Well, I don't think the two of them are really thinking about it as professionals. I wonder.
Well, that's true. This big event is really fun, isn't it? I wonder if the top players are showing their personalities more individually. I'm not sure, but even the foreign players seem to be enjoying themselves, so it's getting really interesting. Shibukawa and Ueda too.
I'm eager to witness a true heavyweight showdown. That's my impression. The initial Japanese contender
From here on out.
That's amazing, isn't it? To get drawn in right from the start like that, that's really something. Was it luck or not? Since we can watch the Tokyo Dome tryouts, it may have been good or not so much. For us to do it with foreigners?
I want to see it too. There's a goodness you can only see at first glance.
They're not exactly top-class foreigners. All the information.
Of course.
That's why I can't really get into it.
So it's like looking at this and deciding from there, you know? That's how it feels. It's fun in its own way. Regarding the participation of player Kuchi in C,
I'm ranked 15th or lower, but among them I think I'm the strongest.
Regu.
There are a lot of strong players, but I want to prove that I'm the strongest one out there.
Thank you for watching and listening.